So this is Capitola Mr. Houdini, who's called H. He's a very experienced pony. He's been to at least 6 World Championships, and in 2017 he won the gold medal for Tara Wilkinson in a pair, and I've taken him, I own him now since 2018. He's been to 3 World Championships with me in the pairs, and then he started to do para driving in 2020, just around COVID time, and he's been with Deb Daniels to the last World Championships and again this year. Yeah, he doesn't owe anybody anything, and he's the most fabulous pony. For a sport pony, you need temperament always, and he has the most wonderful temperament, but you also need suppleness, good paces, because they have to be able to do a very good dressage test, show all different change of pace in the dressage test, and they've also got to be very versatile around the obstacles, so they've got to be able to turn and keep balanced. He does all 3. Yep, they do all 3 phases. And he's got a big stride, so when it comes to the cones where you've got to do it in a certain time, he's got very ground covering strides, so that makes it quite easy for him. This is actually a lunging pad made by a particular brand, and it seems to just fit very nicely for saddles. They don't move, and it doesn't move, and it's breathable, and it's got a lot of cushioning, so we've just started using them and we really like them. The breastplate, he wears what we call an empathy collar, so it's designed to take the pressure above the point of the shoulder, so he gets more freedom of movement into it, and then this martingale just holds it in place, and this is holding it in place as well, so it just sits nicely but doesn't impede the movement of the shoulder. These will be his traces that attach to the carriage, so that'll be where he takes the draft, pulling the carriage, and you want to keep a nice straight line all the way through to the carriage ideally, because that makes the carriage roll better. This is the breeching, seat of the breeching, so when you see him in the carriage you'll see that it's strapped so that when the carriage moves forward it comes and it stops the carriage bumping into the back of him, because there'll be a strap there that stops the whole shaft coming forward, and it holds it here, so it means that it's not, it protects him from the carriage, it acts as a brake. Over the top, so this is just holding all this in place, so it's just held together with a crupper. It holds the back, stop again, you don't want the saddle to be pushed forward, it just holds it in a nice place, and these are what we call loin straps. They're just holding everything in position, and the traces hang off the bottom of them as well. Ideally, you want to be, the breeching sits roughly halfway between dock and hock, but you obviously look at the shape of the thing, you don't want it to slip up, or if you have it too low you can take the back legs from underneath him, so you just want it to come in just about there. This front of it should be roughly level with the top of his stifle as a general guide. We were talking last time about straps slipping. Deb's had the same issue, but we do it with just 2 loose straps.
I'm Deb Daniel. I've been carriage driving for about 19 years. I started with the RDA, and I then went with the carriage driving sports group, and I train with the GB Pod training group, and I've been with the British Para Squad 2025 this year, aiming for the World Championships, Laden in Germany in September, which isn't very far away. So, and we are here at Glebe House, and this is our final selection event. This is Capitola Mr. Houdini, who belongs to this very generous lady behind me, my backstepper Averina Snow. And I've been driving him for quite a few years now. So, in fact, since before COVID. Yes, October before COVID. So we have a very good partnership, and in all that time I've trained with the GP pod training and with Robert Book. Well, we're here and we're going to go. He was driven this morning, and now I'm going to drive, and we're going to do some flat work, and then probably just go through one of the obstacles, just using the space in the obstacles exactly the same as in the dressage, using the space, making the obstacles, making circles and making the obstacles into shapes. So not at speed, not today. We'll save that for Sunday, the marathon. Go on, boy. Thank you. So we are off to go to the practice arena where our trainer, the the British squad trainer, well, one of them, Robert Book, is patiently waiting as we've taken our time trying on new body protectors, which are very comfortable. Each para driver is allowed certain compensation aids. There are general compensation aids, and then there are specific compensation aids. Like some paras, their groom is allowed to use the whip for them. There's all sorts of different aids, and there are general ones like we salute with their head only, but then there are specific aids as well, like Averina has just said, is her being able to operate the brakes, because I obviously can't brace. So apologies, Robert. Roundness, getting him into a shape, maintaining that shape, keeping some energy into him, and then Judy's also asked if we could trick trot. I don't know if we're allowed to trick trot around that obstacle over there. We rely very heavily on voice commands. Oh, sorry, you said to walk. And before and back. My elbows weren't there. And before. So over here we have an obstacle, and on marathon day in section B of the marathon we drive 6 obstacles, and each obstacle has gates A to F, and you can choose whichever route you like as long as you do A to F in sequence. If you miss a gate and leave the obstacle, it's elimination. If you correct an error of course, it's 20 penalties. But although on the marathon there are minimum and optimum times, it is also basically the fastest through the obstacles, and those times in the obstacles are converted into penalties. But it is, you choose your own route. Just trip trot. I haven't been in this obstacle, so what I'll do is I'll just do a couple of circles around the obstacles. What we try to do is the aim is to try and give yourself as much room as possible. Obstacles at speed tighten up on you. So here, for this obstacle, it all looks samey. There's nothing to sort of distinguish it. We do try to get eye lines for outside eye lines for certain positions in the obstacle. But if I was going to drive a circle, say the first circle here on the left round this square, I would be aiming to go rail to rail to rail. Well, there's a gap. So you try and make it as large as possible. So because if you make it large, your pony also has the room to open his stride. So and it can be obviously trot or canter. I'll do this E1 out of the circle. Hey. General idea? Good boy. Good boy. H and 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 H and good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And woof, oh, good lad. Good boy. Well, having tried the Racesafe for the first time, I can honestly say that I wasn't conscious of wearing a body protector. That it's very comfortable. I'm able to turn my shoulders, I'm able to manoeuvre. Yeah, it's really, really comfortable. Averina, your opinion?
For me as well, I could move wherever I wanted to be on the carriage. I don't feel I'm wearing it. It's really easy.
Hello. No. And you can count too, can't you? What? Now the ears are forward. We're allowed 4. Unless we have a super special day, and then we sneak some that Mummy doesn't know about. Don't know.
I've got, well, my friends that I'm following, it's
one more.
A long front, short
you only got 3.
Okay.
So that's the hardest thing, is when you're on the carriage, is you have to ask, say to somebody, can you just pat my pony for me, please? Because you can't give them a pat yourself.
Come on, boy. Come up, you can have some grass in a minute. Hi, I'm Amanda and I'm predominantly a para dressage rider. I've been on the GB World Class programme for the last decade. I've had lots of injuries and for the last 2 years major surgeries, so I'm no longer able to ride dressage and I'm on loan to the para driving squad. This is Ranger, he is the horse, or pony rather. He's 20 years old, he belongs to Averina. and I've only been driving since, well, our first competition was in March, wasn't it, Ranger? And we're aiming for World Games, so as mad as that sounds, that's our aim. Training's good. We're very lucky that we get to come and practice here before an event, so we get lots of training with Robert and get time to bond with the pony. I don't live anywhere near Ranger, so we don't train maybe as often together as we could or should, but he's super, and he just responds really well to my voice, and he's a good boy, aren't you? He knows his job. Just do it and shut your eyes. It's fine. It's terrifying, but it is actually great, and I really love it now. So it's good fun, especially if you come from a dressage background and you haven't done any sort of driving before. Just give it a go. Your local RDA centre can probably help you out, or you could find a very nice owner like Averina and she might lend you a pony. I've just been fitted. It's really comfortable, super soft, way better than anything else I've worn before. I've never really worn a body protector just because I've done dressage a lot, so we don't tend to wear them, but it's great, and I don't like anything too restrictive. It feels really soft and comfortable, so I'm looking forward to getting it.
Super. So if you are able to pop that over.
Have a base layer as well, Jane.
Okay.
A base layer under that. I don't have one.
Okay, so if you are you able to stick your thumbs in there for me? So one in there and one in there, push it together for me. Super. Okay, so I'm just going to do up at the sides a little bit. Yes, basically because they've got like a release coggle on. So if you pull it up, it moves the coggle up. Yeah. So then you can pull it down and then tighten it. It's fully breathable. You've got this stretch mesh, and you've also got little holes in the foam which allows a bit of airflow through the body protector. It's nice and soft, so if you give it a bit of a squeeze and sort of it'll melt in your fingers a little bit. It will mould to your shape. It's the slimmest level 3 that we do. It's slightly more cut underneath your armhole, so you can move your arms forward and back a little bit more.
Yeah, that's good.
You've got your over shoulder adjustments. So if for whatever reason you feel one day when you're competing that you need a little bit more space, if you're doing a bit of extra movement, or you can always release those off a little bit. In the eventing pony club and that sort of world, you have beta levels. So you have level 1, 2 and 3. Level 1 you can't use in this country, that's for abroad racing and that kind of thing. Level 2 are what jockeys wear for racing. You cannot compete in them unless you are a jockey. For your eventing, your pony club, your riding club, you need a level 3. Level 3 is the highest level of protection you can have. And this little label here will tell you what level it is. Also, you need to make sure that the standard is 2018. If it's any later than 2018, there is a purple label and it has 2009. You cannot use those anymore. After 3 to 5 years, which is the lifespan of a body protector, the foam becomes a bit brittle. So it's not just a sales tactic or anything. It does have a purpose. If you fall, it's not going to absorb that full energy of that fall. I'm just going to try a bit of a smaller size on you. I think that fits.
It is quite gappy.
Yeah.
When I do that, you've got a gap behind your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. And also we've got different back lengths, so you've got short, regular, long in the HX3. Our other models you do have an extra long back as well, but we don't do that in this one. Okay, that looks better, yeah.
Because I think it was just kind of catching even a wee bit at the back, but that's good for them.
Yeah. I might be able to just tie you into it a little bit more. So also with the side elastics, I missed this bit out earlier, so it's able to contour to your shape, so which fits ladies really nicely, but it will also fit men because you're able to have that straighter shape, but ladies it will taper in at the sides. So you just feel more secure, but you've got that breathing space over your bust. So it's not just a sort of solid block that you've got on. Sorry, it's always a bit difficult to do when it's on someone. So if you just have a poke, if I undo that slightly for you, have a poke underneath the body protector and feel where your last rib comes to. Okay, and you mind if I have a poke?
No, go for it,
Okay, great. So that is covered nicely. So your last rib's nice and protected. I'm just going to tie you back into it.
Thank you. This on.
Perfect. And how does that feel?
That feels really good actually.
Yeah?
That feels a lot. The other one was fine, but then when you actually put on a downsize, then you feel the difference and there's much more room and it fits you better.
You feel secure?
Yeah, you're well covered and not restricted at the same time, which is good. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Perfect.
He wears a different type of harness. She'll wear a single belt that will come round. Do you want to try the belt with it?
be okay? Thank you.
So you need to do it as tight. You've done it. I think you want to come this way, actually.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. So this on the back does exactly what the other one did. It's got a quick release. Stops her from tipping forward. And if she falls off, we just pull that.
Very clever designs.
So I just wanted to check that there was no issue with the front of the
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
thing. So
Yeah.
is that all comfortable, Jane?
Yeah, no, that seems comfortable. I can still pivot and
Excellent.
turn and sit up and sit back.
So
Yeah.
I suppose in terms of what we were talking about with we were just talking about having a bit of a sort of a, we call it a crotch strap.
Yes.
That goes underneath and just holds down the front and the back.
Yes.
I suppose that would work quite well with you as well, because
Yeah.
then it's not going to risk coming above your belt
Yes,
as much.
yes.
It's very soft and very comfortable. If you have a good feel of that. Yeah, it feels a bit like a sort of memory foamy pillow.
Yeah.
So they are very lightweight as well. Obviously, because they're mesh, it's nice and breathable. You've got that sort of little bit of gap in the little holes and bits, just to give you a little bit more airflow through as well.